viewers, welcome to Afris Concept TV, your number one reliable channel where you get updated and enlightened on what is happening around you. I appreciate you for the time spent while watching and viewing our channel. So if you are new on this channel, don't forget to click on the subscribe button as well as the bell button to get updated whenever I drop any video.
Trending news. The human rights group warned Nigerians to disassociate themselves from Ipob and Shiites members. Following the gruesome murder of 2 police officers by members of the indigenous people of Biafra on Monday in Oraifite, Anambra State, human rights groups have called for drastic measures to avert future occurrence. The Coalition for Human Rights Monitoring Groups in Nigeria condemned the growing spate of war crime perpetrated by proscribed sectors, Ipob and Islamic movements of Nigeria. The Coalition of Human Rights Groups made this known at a press conference in Abuja on Thursday as a fallout from the killing of 2 police officers by Ipob members' lawyer to the lawyer representing their leader, Nnamdi Kanu. In a statement by Convener Gabriel Ejibi, the group reveals this radical sect as sponsored by enemies of Nigeria with the ultimate aim of causing unrest in the country. The recent killing of security agents, the coalition reckoned, follows IMN's trend, as both have unapologetically committed crimes against humanity. As a matter of nation's interest, the coalition urged Nigerians to disassociate themselves from Ipob and Shiites members owing to their violence and terrorist tendencies. The coalition that must not be tolerated by the relevant authorities in Nigeria. This act further reinforces the belief in some quarters that the activities of Ipob and its sister organization, the Islamic movement in Nigeria, are being sponsored by enemies of the Nigerian state with the ultimate aim of causing unrest in the country. The indigenous people of Biafra and the Islamic movement of Nigeria are indeed birds of the same feather, but with different nomenclature and with the same modus operandi of attacking and killing law enforcement officers carrying out their lawful duties. The Coalition of Human Rights Monitoring Groups in Nigeria, which is through its medium, call on members of the general public to, as a matter of national interest, disassociate themselves from members of the indigenous people of Biafra and the Islamic movement in Nigeria due to their violence and terrorist tendencies. This group has constituted themselves into a clutch in the wheel of progress in Nigeria, as evidence in their conduct in time past that has resulted in the death of innocent Nigerians going about their normal businesses. The Ipob and the IMN are organizations that have resulted to carrying out their nefarious activities with the use of dangerous weapons, which have resulted in the loss of lives of innocent and unharmed civilians, including women and children. This recent attack follows that trend in the wickedly plans by the Islamic movement in Nigeria and their counterparts in Ipob to freely kill law enforcement agencies who carry out their legitimate duties. The Coalition of Human Rights Monitoring Groups in Nigeria has in time past documented the several ways the indigenous people of Biafra and the Islamic movement in Nigeria have committed crimes against humanity and had indeed called on the international committee to act by bringing the leadership of both groups to justice. The Coalition of Human Rights Monitoring Group wishes to use this medium to reinforce that call for the International Criminal Court to rise to the occasion by bringing to book the promoters as well as the sponsors of the nefarious activities of Ipob and the IMN in the overall interest of justice. The importance of the International Criminal Court acting to bring the IMN and Ipob to justice cannot be overemphasized, given the fact that if the activities are left to fester, more innocent Nigerians will fall victims to their violence tendencies as well as law enforcement officers. The Coalition of Human Rights Monitoring Groups in Nigeria wishes to recall that instance where the IMN attempted to assassinate the Chief of Army Staff, Gen. Tuku Burata, when his convoy was ambushed in Zaira, Kaduna State. The recent event had indeed proven that the IMN would have taken the life of the Chief of Army Staff when they attacked him, but for the superior firepower of officers and soldiers that promptly acted to rescue the Chief of Army Staffs from danger. The Coalition of Human Rights Monitoring Groups in Nigeria wishes to state in unequivocal terms that their actions violate global practices, as the Ipob and IMN have shown in recent times that both are out of dismembers the Nigerian states. The relevant authorities in Nigeria must act in the interest of the over 200 million Nigerians by bringing the leaders of the Ipob and the IMN to justice. Also, we might be confronted with a more significant challenge in the future, where there would be an upsurge of militant groups carrying out actions that would undermine national security and put innocent citizens in harm's way. The relevant authorities at the International Criminal Court must also act to serve as a deterrent of others in the future. The Coalition of Human Rights Monitoring Groups in Nigeria must act in the interest of the over 200 million Nigerians by bringing the leadership of the Ipob and the IMN to justice. Else, we might be confronted with a more significant challenge in the future, where there would be an upsurge of militant groups carrying out actions that would undermine national security and put innocent citizens in harm's way. The relevant authorities at the National Criminal Court must also act to serve as a deterrent to others in the future. The Coalition of Human Rights Monitoring Groups in Nigeria wishes to state that Nigerians are indeed watching how the events would unfold. Thank you, viewers, for listening to this news. What is your take on this news that you just listened to? If you have any contributions or any comments, kindly drop them below, and as well as clicking on the subscription button to get notifications whenever I drop any video. Thank you and have a wonderful day.